If this is taken away from us, this right here is America. This is America right here. This is our country acting the way our country acts.
That was earlier today, protests across the country against the Trump administration's policies, the effect that it's having in our community. Good evening and thanks for joining us for News at 11. I'm Tucker Conlu. Tiffany Lewis has the night off. Thousands of protesters at Eugene City Hall earlier today, many rallying against the Trump administration's policies and Elon Musk's government cuts. It's part of a nationwide day of protests dubbed Hands Off. Crowds at City Hall packed closely by the riverfront, spanning all the way across Ferry Street Bridge and spilling into Alton Baker Park. Protesters against President Donald Trump and millionaire Elon Musk making their thoughts on the country's leadership clear.
Shutting down our freedom of speech, shutting down our universities. Our universities are where the young people get out and they protest and they say things, and there's nothing illegal about peaceful protest. Nothing illegal about peaceful protest. When something is done that goes against Donald Trump's thoughts and feelings, he calls it illegal, and that is not America.
I'm very concerned for my child's future and everything that I had dreamed and hoped for him and had wanted for his future. I can see it just kind of going down the drain with the way things are going.
Protesters of all ages were in attendance.
What's your favorite part of this rally?
Becoming a community.
Some were against policies they say affected areas outside of their intended scope.
They're removing a lot of funding from universities if they have things, just certain words in their statements. So you can't use words like diversity in a grant application. In the field of science, that's extremely important because ecologists talk about the diversity of an ecosystem. That has nothing to do with any sort of policy that they're pushing. You can't use the word trans. In chemistry, there are cis and trans isomers of chemicals. How are you supposed to talk about scientific concepts if certain words are banned from being used in a grant application?
If we have to do anything we can, even if it's not going out and marching like this, we have to do every little bit we can because that's all we have.
And thousands of protesters came out en masse to more than 1,200 rallies across the country, including up in Portland. Here's some video captured by our Portland sister station showing the action up there. They spoke to one woman who says she was a federal contractor.
I'm completely fed up. I protested a lot in the first administration and felt sort of exhausted, and I'm at my limit. I'm probably going to lose my job due to Elon Musk's Doge cuts.
As you can see, lots of signs, but there was also chanting hands off. They are teeing off against the Trump administration's cuts to government and its policies. Now, in the Portland area, protests were planned in Vancouver, Hillsborough, Beaverton, Tigard, and downtown. Victor Park from our Portland sister station has the story.
From the air, you can see thousands of protesters marching along bridges, streets, and the Portland waterfront. On the ground,
I came out here to make my voice heard.
Their message couldn't be any louder.
The scariest thing to me is to see people being snatched off the street by ICE.
From downtown Portland to our nation's capital to Los Angeles, protesters came out in masses to more than 1,200 hands-off rallies across the country. They are challenging the Trump administration's cuts to government and its policies.
My 401k, my retirement, I've lost so much money in the last couple of days because of the tariffs.
Elon Musk on Saturday gave a video address to Congress of Italy's Populist League Party. He says he hopes that the U.S. can come to an agreement with Europe, ultimately ending the tariffs, but he did not explain how.
I hope it is agreed that both Europe and the United States should move, ideally, in my view, to a zero tariff situation, effectively creating a free trade zone between Europe and North America.
Back on the waterfront, the uncertainty is bleeding into critical life decisions.
Those of us that have not taken our Social Security currently, looking at taking it earlier because we are scared to death that we will have nothing.
And again, that was Victor Park reporting. Meanwhile, Oregon Democrats are supporting the protests happening today. Senator Jeff Merkley posted on X, Republicans are pushing a cruel agenda, slashing Social Security, gutting Medicaid, ripping away basic rights. That's why Americans are in the streets today to say, hands off. I hear you, and I'm in this fight with you every day. And now here's a look across the nation. Protests took place in various major cities in all 50 states, not just Eugene. Things are now wrapping up. People in cities everywhere showed up in the thousands. Here you can see Boston dressed up like George Washington, marching from the Boston Common to City Hall Plaza. Now take a look at Chicago, where they're packed on the streets. These protests remained peaceful. Demonstrations are also happening in Mexico and several European countries. And Senate Republican leaders took a key step toward advancing President Donald Trump's multi-trillion-dollar agenda in Congress. After an overnight work session, the Senate took a final vote early Saturday to adopt a new budget blueprint. The Senate's plans include trillions of dollars in permanent tax breaks and new money for national security with only nominal spending cuts.
The concurrent resolution, as amended, is adopted.
Donald Trump has betrayed the American people. Tonight, Senate Republicans joined him in that betrayal.
Senators Rand Paul and Susan Collins were the only Republicans to join Democrats in opposing the resolution. Now the Senate proposal heads to the House. Both chambers must agree to the same budget blueprint.